Hey guys, hope you're having a nice day, and let's go ahead and play Cassia at the Battlefield of Eternity. Well, this is gonna be fun, probably. They have lots of auto-attackers, right? So as Cassia, this is like the perfect game for us, because we can just blind them all the time. Like we can shut them down pretty damn hard. But you know what's like... What's kind of weird about Cassia, right? In my opinion, is that like her damage output is absolutely incredible. Like she just does tons of damage, like Chromie levels of damage, right? But her damage is very, as opposed to Chromie, Cassia's damage is super effective. Like you are always hitting like heroes when you want them to hit, like when you want to hit them, and like you can prioritize targets easily and everything like that. But somehow Cassia doesn't really seem to work outside of countering people, right? Like if they don't have auto attackers on their team, it doesn't seem like your damage is enough as Cassia. Maybe because you don't have any ways to like do a burst of damage to quickly kill somebody, right? You're only just like a more or less consistent damage dealer, and that's pretty much it. So it always seems kind of hard to make Cassia work outside of the situation where you are straight up countering people. But this game, it should be fine. Like they have, as I said before, they have lots of auto-attackers, so we can utilize our blinding light, and not only we would blind them, but what's even better is that we would do 15% extra damage to them. So like immediately you can see like the value. Like when drafting Cassia for your team, for example, you want to maybe draft Lily or Johanna. That, like, those heroes always work really well with Cassia. Like it's just... Again, it just seems ridiculous how powerful she can be if you get her another blind, right? And then at level 4, she gonna pick up Ring of the Leech, at least I always do. And it kind of makes, like, it almost makes heroes like Lily and Johanna kind of a pseudo Tessadar for you, right? Like, you get a blind and now you're healing yourself for kind of the same healing. Not the same healing, but like a fraction of the healing of what Tessadar would offer you as a support, right? So it's kind of funny like that. So for level 1, I like for this game there were kind of two choices. I could have gone for True Sight. It would increase the duration of our blind, which would obviously help us. More damage, and obviously we deny damage for the enemy team, right? But I just really like Charged Strikes. Like this ability actually seems overpowered as hell. Like not only it makes all of your attacks chain to every hero like around the target you hit, right? But it also increases attack damage, right? Similar talents, usually what they do is they give you the ability to cleave enemies, but they only cleave for like, I don't know, 30%, 40% damage. Cassia, on the other hand, she actually does a lot more damage. Like she actually does not only like the same damage amounts, but like she does extra damage by cleaving people, which is kind of ridiculous. So I think that you almost always need to go for Charged Strikes. As tempting as True Sight might be, I really think that Charged Strikes is just a little bit better. Yeah, and also True Sight would give you extra damage bonus. So like, yeah, I don't know. Like Charged Strikes is just like, man, it's just so much damage. It's just so much damage. It's hard to... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I might die now. I should be okay though. Oh, and Rhaegar might die now. Okay, there we go. And remember, we got our Ring of the Leech, so the more people we are hitting, we are damaging. Not even... okay, give me a second. Give me a second to explain this. Ring of the Leech. The way it works is it's based off of damage. So any talents you pick up that do extra damage, your heroics, your abilities, everything that does damage versus blinded targets actually heals you. So you can, like, if in a team fight you land the blind on the whole enemy team, right? And then you pop your Charged Strikes, you will heal like for just, I don't know, 20% of your maximum health every time you hit somebody on the enemy team, because your attacks would be cleaving, and obviously that's extra damage. So yep. Oh my god, this game is kind of funny. So yeah, charge strikes were nerfed a little bit. It used to be able to hit heroes if you are hitting structures, for example. Like Cassia can do that at level 20 with his prismatic, I think it's prismatic link, right? Prismatic link. But Cassia can he would auto attack a structure and it would chain to heroes to anything around it. Cassia can't do that anymore because it was kind of overpowered. Right, you would just be hitting the, I would be hitting the fort, for example, and everyone on the enemy team trying to defend the Immortal would be hit in the middle of that. So that obviously wasn't the best. You know what? You know what the crazy part is? I can fight them. And this is kind of the ridiculousness Cassia brings in. Like, again, it helps that we are fighting versus, like, a team of auto attackers, so we can fully utilize our avoidance and fully utilize our blinding light. But it's insane. So at level 4, what you also might want to go for is inner light. If you are facing heroes, for example, like Butcher or Illidan, inner light just triggers a blind onto them the moment they charge you, the moment they stun you, and it denies all of the damage they would otherwise do to you. So obviously that's kind of powerful, and then you can keep chain blinding them with your blinding light after the effect of your inner light wears off. So that's kind of great. Level 7 we picked up Surge of Light. What it does is after you block a certain amount of damage with your avoidance active, and keep in mind, it's not it's not mitigate the damage. You just need to take 700 damage in any way, and I think mitigated damage, like for example, if you take 712 auto attack damage, but you mitigate 500 off of it, I think you will still get the full, like your talent, like you will charge up this ability. And what it allows you to do after you mitigate that amount of damage, you are able to activate your trait to do a lot of damage around you. Well, not a lot of, but like 300 extra damage. It's kind of the same damage that Li Ming does with her teleportation. I don't remember how the talent is called, but basically the talent that allows her to do damage with her teleport. It's kind of the same damage if you add up the 15% extra damage bonus. So it makes Surge of Light a very good talent for when you want to finish off people, or when you want to heal yourself a little bit. Because guess what? It does damage, and when people are blinded, with Ring of the Leech, you heal yourself for that damage done, so obviously that all kind of comes together. I could have used my charge strike. I thought we would win the Immortal race, so I didn't want to blow my cooldown on the charge strikes, which was a horrible play. Because charge strikes has super short cooldown, like that talent has just super short cooldown, so I should have just used it to try and raise the Immortal faster, but sadly I didn't really think about that too much, so that's my bad. I don't think at level 7 you want to be picking up anything else. It just seems like the utility of that talent just seems a little bit too powerful. Okay, we got blinded. That was a good play by our tennis there. That was a really good play by our tennis, because he denied us a lot of value from our abilities and whatnot. Maybe Malfurion will be able to save us. There we go. And now with the Ring of the Leech, man, there is nobody wants to fight us. We have our avoidance charged up again. Like, it's very easy to charge up Surge of Light, so you can just use it as much as you want in a team fight. But like, so far, so good. Like, we have kind of a wonky team, and seems like we are making it work. Again, as I was saying, just Cassia does so much damage. Tracer is actually managing to keep up with us, which is very surprising. But like, she has way more mobilities than we do, so she can be a little bit more effective, a little bit faster, right? So I will attack minions, that way I can hit all of them. Oh, well, they didn't really come to us, so too bad. Too bad there, but again, like, I use my charge strikes and it's available again, so that's kind of cool. So the way you want to be playing Cassia all the time, though, is you want to be utilizing your avoidance as much as possible. This means that you want to be moving as much as possible, and luckily, Cassia has enough auto attack speed so that like your avoidance will never fade out. Like, you Like, for example, look at this. You attack and move, attack and move, attack and move, and your 65% physical armor never fades. And obviously that's a good thing, right? I don't know what that was interesting. That was an interesting play by Samura there. He kind of underestimated me or something, I don't know. But there we go. We can just kill people so fast. And like I said that Cassia doesn't have a lot of burst, but like we just saw, I feel like, I don't know, we killed 2 people like really fast. I feel like that was, but it's like, it's definitely not the same as having a Grey Mane jump onto somebody, right? Definitely not the same thing. Again, I'm gonna activate my charge strikes because I don't want to lose the immortal phase like last time. That was kind of awful. By the way ball lightning works is it sends out a ball of lightning that jumps from an enemy to an enemy, dealing kind of decent damage, and it bounces up to 6 times. And if there are no enemies in range, it will try to bounce to you if it can. If it can't, obviously nothing happens, and it just fades out, right? Oh damn! Because Lunara jumped over us, and like she was the closest hero to us, so our ball lightning decided to prioritize her. But then Lunara jumped out of the range of anything, so we weren't really able to achieve much there. Oh damn! But as Cassia, you are still super vulnerable to magic damage. Like there is absolutely no way to mitigate it, so you need to be careful about that, for sure. For sure, I'm still thinking about my level 13 talent. By the way, I completely missed my blinding light onto Tracer and Samura there. If I landed it, I would have probably been able to heal myself up a bit and not die to them, right? Not die to the bomb from Tracer. But I just missed my skill shot. That happens. That happens. At level 13, I really like Seraph's Hymn. Not only it reduces the mana cost, which honestly you don't really have too many problems as Cassia, like with your mana usage, but the main thing it does is if you are attacking heroes that are blinded, you get a cooldown reduction for your blinding light. So that means that you can just chain your blinds over and over and over again, and that is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. Again, my thingy went out somewhere in the wrong direction. The ball lightning just left us, you know? Just left somewhere else into a better place. Okay. Tracer versus Tracer. I think she got it. Usually it's the Tracer that uses her recall first, just loses the fight. So that kind of worked out as it should have, If they commit here too much, we can punish them for this. Oh my god, please kill him, please kill Rhaegar. Oh my god, oh no, kill Rhaegar, he should be so dead. Damn, I thought that we could win that, I don't know. I felt like I turned around on them and dealt a lot of damage, but obviously nothing happened. It's okay though. It's a-okay. Other talents, I don't know, like there is the other build I used to use on Cassia that's revolving around your fend ability, but like after trying this auto attack focus build with like some burst, some healing, like you just seem a lot more powerful than you would otherwise be, because like one of the bigger weaknesses of Cassia is her range. Like you can't really, for example, Cassia versus Lunara would win that easily, and it seems like she does exactly that, because she can poke me easily and I can't do the same, right? And with this a little bit more survivability focus build, you are able to just oh, well played by her. You are able to utilize your like your range. Yeah, like you aren't as vulnerable as you would otherwise be, and that seems very powerful. So for this build, martial law makes the most sense in my opinion. Makes the most sense in my opinion. The moment somebody is stunned, rooted or slowed, and keep in mind we have stitches for putrid bile, so people are gonna be slowed basically all the time. We're gonna hit for 3% extra of their maximum health. So this is like the giant killer talent for Cassia, and it works really well, I think. Like 3% extra damage It's pretty good. Also, I think that charged strikes also proc the martial law damage. I'm not sure, but I feel like you almost always need to go for martial law, unless you don't have any sort of blinds or stuns or anything like that. In which case, I don't know, maybe go for penetrate, just to make sure that when you are using your fend, it does something, you know, because you can't always guarantee it. But like, I mean, Cassia is just a ridiculous hero in my opinion. I thought about 20 would go for Titan's Revenge, I think the talent is called, the one that gives us that extra range for our auto attacks, which we really need, and it also allows us to pierce armor, which is kind of ridiculous, like, right? You can completely ignore armor from Arthas, from like from Johanna, armor that Uther brings to his team, right? With your auto attacks, you would just pierce through all of that, you would get extra range, which would allow you to do more DPS because you can land more attacks without being too overextended or anything like that. So that's a great talent in my opinion. But like, she is just so damn fun to play all the time. Like, I think she is a very unique auto attacker compared to others, like, right? Others are all revolving around give yourself as much survivability as possible, like with your waltz, with your life regeneration as Rainer, something like that. But Cassia is more about like blinding your opponent and just staying in the fight, trying to be super effective, utility based, like AD carry. It's kind of a unique role in my opinion. Yep. So, I really like her as a hero. I just wish that it just seems like when you don't really... Like, if our opponents all had some form of magic damage, right? If they were magic damage based and not so much auto attack heavy as they were, Cassia would really drop in value. And it just kind of makes me sad, because I feel like she brings a lot to the team, but it's really hard to make her work without auto attackers on the enemy team, at least in my experience. But that was a very fun game, and I think that's gonna be it. So if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, and as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.